Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I got this really easy, simple glam look. This is usually my go-to look when I want to go somewhere and look a little extra fancy. Instead of just adding a little bit of bronzer and highlighter on my eyes, this is when I want to actually go out and look a little extra. So if you want to see how I got this look, please keep on watching. To save some time, I already went ahead and applied my foundation, concealer, and bronzer. I'm gonna save the highlighter and the blush for after, but I've already primed my eyes, done my eyebrows off camera, and using my Kat Von D Shade and Light Palette, I'm gonna go in with the lightest shade right here, and I'm just going to set my eyelids. I already primed it using the MAC's Paint Pot and laying low. Okay, so that's evenly on there. In case you see me looking this way, I have a larger mirror. So for today's look, I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Reloaded Velvet Rose palette. This is what it looks like. It is extremely affordable. I believe I got this at Ulta for either $9 or $10. I'm not exactly sure, but it's no more than $11. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a fluffier brush. I like using fluffier brushes to apply my crease color. I just feel like it saves a lot of time. I'm using the Vasanti Concealer Buffer Brush. I got this in, I believe it was a Ipsy bag a few months ago. But I always like starting off with a really light shadow. So I'm going to go in with this. Take a little bit of product and just pat that up and just kind of get rid of all the excess, and I'm just going to start buffing this in, and I'm going pretty high with this. And I'm sure on camera it doesn't look like anything, but it's slightly a little darker than my actual skin tone, so that's what I want. I like building up lighter shadows and then working my way up, so that way if you're using a lighter shadow and you're building up the darker shades instead of just going in with a really dark shade, it's not going to be impossible to undo it or fix it, but it's just going to be a lot easier if you're starting off lighter and going in with a darker shades. So I like the way this is looking. Now the second shade I'm going to go in with, this was the first shade, we're going to use a little bit of this, and I'm using the same brush. And I'm going to do the same exact thing, except I'm bringing it just slightly lower than I did. I'm not taking this completely up. And I really like working in my shadows in my inner corners. You always want to make sure you take your time blending your eyeshadows. Okay, so now I'm done using this brush for now. I'm going to go in with a smaller buffing brush, my Morphe M441. If you've seen my previous videos, you know I like this brush a lot. It's really affordable. And got a lot of fallout. So I'm going to go in with this color and just take a very small amount. Just always dust off any excess. And I'm going to really work this into the crease. If you don't know exactly where your crease is, just lift your head up and then you'll see where the socket of your eye is. So this is where mine is. And then once you found that, just go and buff the shade in. Now I'm going to go back in with the original brush and I'm just going to blend this a little further. Using the same brush, I'm going to go in with a deeper shadow. So that was the one I used originally, well, first, and now I'm going to go in with this. And I'm really going to focus this on the outer portion. I'm just going to bring in going to bring this in a little bit here, not bringing it completely in. And I'm just buffing this product. Just little circular motions. I like bringing my eyeshadows out a little bit because it elongates my eye shape. But if you don't like that, you obviously don't need to do that. I'm going back in with the Vasanti brush and just buffing everything just slightly. I don't know if the camera's picking up my eyelids too much, but my eyelids are a little dry right now, so the shadow's not going on as smooth. Normally it's not like this. I'm not really sure why it's so dry. So in case you're seeing that on camera, I have no explanation. Normally it looks so much better. So if you see it on camera, please disregard that. Okay, so next brush we're gonna go in with is going to be this Morphe G15. This is the only small flat brush that I own at the moment, or that I can find at the moment. So I like to go in with a shimmer shade because we're gonna start working on our eyelid. You don't need to cut your crease for this. Like I said, it's just a really simple look. And this is just how I do it when I'm in a rush, but I still want to look a little put together. And I'm just going to pat this onto my lid. Just going to take this all the way. And if you want to carve out a little bit, you don't need to use concealer. If you want to, be my guest. The shadow just goes in really nicely with the other shades, so I feel like you can get away with it. So if you can see that, I'm just feathering it out, but I really want this color deposited on my eyelid. And I always like starting off with the outer corner, the outer part of the eye, and then working my way in, because I don't want too much product in the front, because we're going to be using another shade. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Now I'm actually just going to use the same brush, the same side, not doing anything different. I'm going to go in with the gold. And this color I'm really going to pack on. You always want to make sure you tap off any excess. And then I'm going to slowly just kind of tap this product in the inner part of my lid. And I'm just slowly feathering it out. I don't want it to look pure gold, and that's why I laid the darker shade first. I just want it to peek through. But if you want it gold, then just skip that part, or skip putting the darker shade all over and just go in with the gold alone. This is just how I like to do it. So that's what it will look like. If you have any fallout and you've already done your face makeup, just take a fluffy brush. Actually, get a better one. take a fluffy brush and just dust everything off so it doesn't sit and bake into your skin. Now I'm going to use the same gold and I'm just going to apply this in the inner tear duct. And that gold I'm also going to bring down to right over here. So now we're going to work on the lower lash line. I'm not going to go in with the lightest shade. I'm going to go in with the second lightest shade, and I'm just going to take a small, more fluffier brush. This is the M503 Morphe brush. Taking a very small amount, and I'm going to buff this onto the lower lash line. And I'm going to be pretty generous with this. I was like starting off with the lightest shade, like I said. And just really working that in. When you're bringing the eyeshadows, make sure you're connecting it to the top. So at least that way it just looks really seamless. Okay, then I'm gonna go in using the same brush and this shade right here. And I'm going in with a very small amount. I'm really gonna work this on the outer portion. I'm just gently using a little bit of product and then as I get closer to the inner corner, but I really want this to be on the outer. Now the last color we're gonna go in with is going to be this darkest shade, right? Actually, let's go in with this shade right here. And I'm using the smallest amount of product. You can switch brushes if you want. I'm just gonna use this. I'm literally putting the smallest amount if you can see it. And I want to keep this really close to the outer corner and to the lash line. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with a flat definer brush. This is a Morphe M432 brush. That's what it looks like. And I'm gonna go in with this color and this color. I'm going to bring this extremely close, almost like I'm aligning. If you want to add a little bit of black, you can do so also. I'll show you what it looks like. So you can see the difference with a little bit of black versus no black. Okay, so what I'm also going to do is using whatever's on my brush, I'm just going to feather this out where a wing would be. So if you're struggling with a winged liner, this can also be your guide. If you don't want to wear a winged liner, or if you don't want to do eyeliner, then you don't have to either. Okay, so this is what that looks like. I'm just going to put this aside for a little bit. We're done using that. Normally what I like to do is I'll go in with either a black eyeliner or a brown. My two favorite liners at the moment is Teddy from MAC or Smolder. So for this, actually I'll show you what they both look like. So let's go in with Teddy first. It's a really nice bronzy brown. Actually, I'm only gonna use Teddy. Smolder is gonna be a little too dark. I just want to do something a little less dramatic, but if you want to go in with a black, go in with black. And I always like to tightline with whatever liner I'm using, my waterline. So I applied my eyeliner off camera since I'm still not the greatest at filming it properly and showing you guys. So I just used the Wet n Wild Mega Liner to do my winged liner. And my favorite part of this look is the glitter liner that we're going to be using. I'm using the Urban Decay Heavy Metals Liner Midnight Cowboy. I'm going to put a really thick layer of this on top of my black eyeliner. So in case you did make any mistakes, this is actually a good way of correcting any mistakes, but I'm not going to bring the eyeliner out to the wing. I'm going to stop it before, so I'll show you how I do that. Just start off with a little bit and just go right above. And for me, because I do have slightly hooded eyes, I'm going to stop right here. You also want to give this time to dry. Be careful that you don't get too much of this wand on your eyeliner because it'll stain. But if you do, just clean it off. And I feel like just a little bit of glitter makes any look extra glam without even trying. So now that the eyes are almost completed, I'm gonna apply my highlighter, and I've been loving these two highlighters mixed together. This is the Apricot Glow by e.l.f. and the Master Chrome in Molten Gold. I'm going to use this Mint Pear rounded soft blend brush. This is the M64. I also got this in a previous Ipsy bag, and I've been liking a larger brush to apply my highlight. I haven't been really into a blinding highlight. I just want a really nice healthy glow. And I feel like this brush does that. And I'm applying this highlight closer to my cheek area. So I think I went a little too carried away. So I'm just gonna go in with my other brush. This is what I use to set my face, and I'm just gonna go over it. So if you feel like you've added too much highlight, just go in with a regular brush and just start buffing gently. So that looks so much better. Going back in with the e.l.f. brush, I'm gonna use a very small detail brush, And I'm going to apply this on my brow bone. And I'm only applying this on the highest point. It's okay to use your fingers. If you want to add a little bit to your inner tear duct, you can. I'm fine with the way this looks right now. And for my nose highlight, I'm going to use the e.l.f. highlighter also. Just going to use a very small amount. And I haven't been highlighting the entire bridge. I've just been highlighting like there. I'm going in with Tarte's Party blush, and I'm just applying this on the apples of my cheek. I already have my bronzer on. I use the MAC's Refined Golden Bronzer, in case you were wondering. And for my nose contour, I used my Hoola bronzer. And the last thing we're going to do is going to be the lips. And with that, I am going to use MAC's Cork Lip Liner, Wet n Wild's Liquid Catsuit in Rebel Rose, and Dose of Color More Creamer Please. This was the first lipstick from Katie and Desi collection from their first collab. So I'm just going to apply that on really quick. So this is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next video.